I'm Jim Longworth, and welcome to another edition of Triad Today. Coming up later on, our infamous Roundtable with Convene. We'll see what they have to say about a wide range of controversial topics, but between now and then, some great guests and important information coming your way. We'll have an update on where we are with tourism in this area. We'll also meet a chef from Alamance Community College. He and his team took a tour of Europe, talk about European cuisine and all that good stuff. It's a fascinating program. And Dave Briggs will be around to tell us what's coming up at the High Point Theater, that and much more. But first, we start out talking about a very serious topic. We did this same topic about the same time last year because of a special event, an event that's supposed to help raise money and does raise money in the fight against childhood obesity. We're going to meet three people who are involved in this on a very personal level. Next to me, our good friend David Daggett, attorney with Daggett Schuler. Next to him is a guest that he and Griff rode along, and we welcome her back to the show. Erin Craver is Executive Director of YMCA of Kernersville, and then, of course, Griff Schuler, attorney with Daggett Schuler. Welcome, everybody.
Thanks, Jim.
I'm going to get to Erin in just a second, but I want to start out with David and Griff on something. David, how bad is the childhood obesity problem?
Yeah, childhood obesity is a serious problem, and it's a growing problem. Over the last 30 or so years, obesity among children has quadrupled, more than 4 times. 20% of children are now obese, and almost a third are overweight. That's a problem not only for the children, but when children are overweight, there's a very good chance that will continue into adulthood.
Right, and Griff, what are some of the spin-off problems from obesity too?
Well, you've got physical and you've got mental and emotional. So you've got the physical side of things, Jim, where it leads to more diabetes, heart disease, things like that. But obviously the other thing is too, that's very unfortunate, you have things that are touch the mental and emotional side, can lead to deeper depression. You can have bullying and things like that.
Right.
That really make it very, very difficult. And it's why events like this are so important, to bring the spotlight to the problem.
Right, and we're going to find out about the mistletoe run in a second. Let's go to Erin now, because Erin, first, before we do that, are there ways, just on a day-to-day basis, that the Kernersville-wide, are there things you do, activities you offer to help prevent and deal with childhood obesity?
Sure. I mean, with all of our YMCAs within Northwest North Carolina, we put preventative steps in place for children through active play and learning. Whether they're taking a swim lesson or whether they're in an after-school program, we always make sure there's a physical education component as part of all of our programs to make sure they learn to live healthy lifestyles.
Now tell us about the big mistletoe run. I think it's coming up on December 1st. Erin, give me some details.
Right, so it's our 35th year, so we're really excited, and most people will see that our logo actually changed, so we made it a little bit more fun and a throwback to the reindeer from when we first started 35 years ago. What's really exciting is just this week we already have over 2,000 runners registered to run.
Wow.
And then that represents 24 states within the United States of America will be here.
And the proceeds from participating in this go to help with the...
So all of it stays within the community here in Forsyth County and other outlying counties that help participate in bringing children here to run.
David, real quickly, why should people attend and participate?
Well, number of reasons. Number one, it's a fabulous event. It's really a hallmark event. Erin and her team do a tremendous job. Erin stays there, I think, all night helping to get things set up and get ready. The team works very hard. It's a showcase event. It's a big event. People from everywhere. We'll have probably 3,000, maybe even a little bit more total runners.
Right.
And then you have each of them bring 2 people, so you have 6,000 spectators. It's a big event. I announce and MC it. We give everybody a personal championship experience.
That's great.
And it's local. Local events mean the proceeds stay local, supports our local
that's important.
programs.
And up on
Absolutely.
screen, 35th Annual Mistletoe Run, Saturday, December 1st. Fun run at 7:30 a.m., half marathon 8 a.m., 5K at 8:15 a.m. The websites are up there, ymcamistletoe.org and daggettschulerlaw.com. We'd like to check that out. Griff, we have a couple seconds left. Can you walk through these things?
Sure. I think one of the great things about this event is it's family oriented, so anybody can come out. There's a fun run beforehand, and you can walk the 5K, but there's also very serious runners at this event as well.
Exactly. Guys, thanks for everything you do. Erin, you're a champion doing this.
Thank you so much.
Erin's the best.
She is the best.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Back now on Triad Today, and I'm hungry just thinking about this introduction here because we've had this gentleman here before. He couldn't bring food from Europe, because it would be spoiled by now. But anyway, here he is, our good friend, Chef Brian Bailey. He's Department Head of Culinary Arts at Alamance Community College. He's been all over everywhere. We're going to tell you about that in just a second. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Brian, since you were here last, I know that you had just won some state competitions, your team at Alamance Community College, and some regional things. You were headed for national. What's been happening with the program since then?
Well, we actually went to New Orleans this summer with 5 students on our competition team, and we competed on the national level. We earned a silver medal at the national competition, and just kind of going forward from there. So the
You
students
guys
had a
are
great
just great.
experience.
Now, is it the same? I know they couldn't be here with us today. Was it the same kind of team as you brought with us? You brought with you last year, or has that changed personnel? Or?
Each year it ends up changing. You know, we have first-year students and second-year students, so kind of the second-year students move on, and first-year students turn into.
They do a great job. Ed Williams from Alamance Community College sent me an email about, and this is why I alluded to Europe, saying that you and your team had studied abroad this past summer. I just think that's cool. Now, what was that all about?
So we take students on a European culinary immersion program that we created, where we take funds that we've earned through fundraisers that are outside of the college, and we take students to Europe for 10 to 12 days in between spring and summer semester.
So they're not missing classes.
We're not missing any classes, and we're not using any state dollars, so it's really a win-win.
Well, what kind of things, gosh, there's a million questions I have for you, but just off the top of my head, I'm thinking, what kind of things were they exposed to? I mean, how does the experience benefit what they want to do in the culinary field? I mean, tell me about it.
Part of it, like I tell the students, you can't cook the best food in the world until you've eaten the best food in the world. And so we go to culinary schools, we go to markets, to cheese shops, to vineyards, to olive groves. You know, we travel around, we get the culture, we go to Michelin star restaurants here and there, and we visit pastry shops. And probably the coolest thing I think we do is that we go to a school called Ferrandé, which is in Paris, and then we've gone to the Basque Culinary School in San Sebastian, Spain, and so we visited.
When your folks graduate and leave your nest, as it were, are they going to take from this certain recipes? Are they going to take ideas, you think, from the European tour?
Yeah, absolutely. It actually feeds into our classical cuisine class. So our classical cuisine class focuses on a lot of the classics from France, from Spain. And so the fact that we're there and then we come straight into class, it's really kind of makes sense for the students going forward.
Now, is this something you're going to, I know you said you use private funds. Is this something that you sort of have an ongoing commitment that you tell incoming students, yeah, we're going to try to do this every year, or was this a one-time thing?
No, this has been an ongoing thing the last 3 or 4 years, and so we're going to keep pushing forward with this. And each year, it's been a nice little marketing tool. It really makes us unique to a lot of other programs.
I don't know of any other community colleges that do European tours with their award-winning culinary team. I mean, you sort of got that niche in there. Let me ask you, we didn't rehearse this or anything, but let me ask you, for people that might be watching and maybe they know somebody that might be interested, and a neighbor or a friend or a family member say, he likes cooking, she likes cooking. How do you get involved with your program? Is there a time of year that's best to sign up? I mean, how do they find that information about you?
Absolutely. They can contact even me personally, Brian Bailey at Alamance Community College. They can go online to apply. It's a free application. But our program traditionally starts in the fall, but we actually start students in the spring and in the summer as well. So pretty much it's a rolling registration. So anytime they contact me, I'll be quick to get back to them and move forward.
And you guys fix great food there at the college too, and I've heard from people who said that it's just terrific. So I'm going to have to come over there and taste some of that.
Please do. We'd love to have you.
Up on screen for more information, alamancecc.edu. I'll say it again for the radio listening audience, www.alamancecc.edu. Please check that out. It's an award-winning program, and the college is a great place to be. And thanks for all you do for the kids and the students. Thanks you, Brian.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks for having me again.
Mouth-watering. I'm thinking about European food. We'll be right back after this. Right now on Triad Today, and we have finally wrangled this special guest to come by. We don't get to see him that often because he's always going and doing things on behalf of the city of Winston-Salem, specifically tourism, and you can thank him and his team for all the great things that have been coming into the city and the revenues. So let's meet him right now in case you haven't seen him on here. The show before. Rich Geiger is president of Visit Winston-Salem, the tourism agency, and welcome back to the show, sir.
Thanks, Jim. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Overall, how would you say the tourism business in Winston-Salem is doing?
It's very good. It's pretty consistent with what's going on in the national economy. Business has been good, very strong. 2017 was a record year for visitors. We had about 1.8 million people visit Winston-Salem and Forsyth County. They left behind almost $900 million in economic impact on our community. So it's been, 17 was a very good year. We expect 18 to be the same, and right now 2019 is shaping up to maybe be a banner year,
Wow.
in large part because of the renovations at the Benton
I
Convention
was going
Center.
to ask you about the Benton Convention Center. Now, for old timers like me that have been around here, were born here and remember when it was built, and we knew it needed to be renovated, and you guys did a great job putting it together. But now, how is the Benton performing now that it's sort of renewed, and is it making a difference in attracting bigger and better and more things?
Yes, the original building was built and opened in 1969. Actually, they expanded it back in the 80s, but it has been a great investment by the city of Winston-Salem. They invested about a little over $20 million into it, and construction was pretty much in 17 and 18, and our numbers are very strong. Bookings are up. We're booking more business. We went into this past year with over 10,000 more hotel rooms on the books because of the Benton renovation.
Lord.
It was an opportunity to, if you will, talk about Winston-Salem again, talk about the reinvention of the Benton Convention Center, get new customers interested who had not considered Winston-Salem before, and, if you will, even help us sustain some business that was coming, but they started maybe looking at other cities. Because other cities around the state, including Wilmington, went ahead and built new buildings, new facilities. So you've got to stay competitive, you got to stay current. The city, again, to their credit, invested $20 million, and we're reaping the benefits now with very strong impact numbers from the Benton.
Yeah, Rich, you alluded to new hotel rooms, and how does that? I mean, for folks who don't understand, how in these new hotel rooms, how does that impact the economy themselves?
Well, we have about 5,000 hotel rooms under development and construction right now in downtown Winston-Salem. And that's about 10% of our total market. We have about 5,000 rooms in Winston-Salem, so it's a big increase in the number. But developers look at different areas and they see that there's some strength in our market. They see the renovation of the Benton. They see downtown and the continued growth of our downtown area and downtown core. The enhancements and improvement by having the innovation corridor downtown on the east side. With the activity now with Wake Forest moving to medical school down there,
Right.
There's a lot of synergies in downtown
stuff.
Winston-Salem. So, and that's why you're seeing developers coming in and doing more hotels and more restaurants.
Everybody who knows you knows that you're a straight shooter, and so the elephant in the room here, I've got to bring it up, the I-40 closure, maybe through January of 2020 as we speak. If people are either watching you and I on Saturday or Sunday, but it's closed, both lanes. How's that going to impact tourism?
Well, for us, it's the I-40 closure for us locally. From a marketing perspective, we're talking about the I-40 improvements around the state and outside the state. We have to find the right balance in our marketing message for tourism and for conventions. That yes, you're going to encounter some road closures and those types of things, but Winston-Salem's open. We got to keep talking in a very positive light that Winston-Salem's open. Our restaurants, the Benton Convention Center, our activities, our theaters, our nightlife is all open. The worst thing to have happen is that people start shying away from coming to Winston-Salem because of some of the
But there are going to
challenges.
be some good routes and alternatives, so we're okay.
Yeah, DOT's on top of it. They'll do a great job.
Up on screen, visit Winston.com. For the radio listening audience as well, visit Winston.com. Please check that out. And I wish you could get here with us more often, but I know you're busy, and I really salute what you're doing, you and Marquita and the whole team. You're really keeping us going, and thanks for everything, Rich.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate
man.
it. Good seeing you.
We'll be right back. Now on Triad Today, and when I think about theaters and the arts, you know what I think of? I think of Dave Briggs. They should name a theater after Dave. Maybe we'll name a theater after
That sounds like a great idea.
Here he is, folks. Laurie Bates, our director. We'll see. Dave Briggs, director of the High Point Theater. That's the official introduction. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Well, maybe if I win the lottery, they can name one.
Exactly. Not to embarrass you further,
That's
but you're sort of the dean of theater directors in the region. And so I'm wondering, first of all, how long have you been in charge of the High Point Theater? And what's your objective for the theater in terms of how it serves the community?
Well, yeah, I've been in High Point for 7.5 years, so I've been the director there and been doing this business overall for a little over 35. I don't know where the time goes, but it sure has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The objective for the High Point Theater really is for us to present the best quality professional entertainment for the public so that they can afford to come and see our shows, but then also to create an amazing venue for folks who want to rent the building or want to come in and use the facility as part of a community partnership, whether it's the community theater, community concert association, the ballets, the dance studios, dance competitions, pageants, and so on.
Yeah, it's an all-purpose theater that a lot of times, we try to emphasize that when you come by each month. But you can't say it too often. I mean, if on the one hand, you've got these top-flight performers and performances that are big-name people coming in here and performing, and then, you can also pick up the phone and call Dave and his people and say, hey, we'd like to have a talent show. What's the fee and how can we do it? And so it's a great facility.
I had a call just the other day, somebody that does the National Mustache and Beard Group that wants to have their first ever awards in our building.
Wow.
How exciting. I didn't even know there was such a group.
Well, now
So,
you know.
What fun.
Will they shave on stage
No,
or
they won't
something?
be shaving on stage.
All
They'll
right.
be probably combing. a
They're
little bit.
proud of it. All right, let's talk about things you can see at the High Point Theater
Sure.
other than Dave.
That's right.
Some upcoming things. Sons of Serendip. Remind us what that is.
Sons of Serendip are four amazing gentlemen. They play harp, cello, piano, and have phenomenal vocals. It's a blend of classical music with popular music, and they met in college at Boston University. But two of the members are from North Carolina. One went to School of the Arts.
Wow.
The other one from Charlotte area. They're remarkable. That's on the 27th of November. They were runners-up for America's Got Talent, I think, about 5 seasons ago.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal.
That's just great.
Yeah.
Now, you sent me an email and said, hey, don't forget to ask me about Raleigh Ringers. And I was going to ask you, are these the folks that run the state legislature?
Well, the Raleigh Ringers actually were November 11th, so I think we're going to.
So they're past.
They're past. They were phenomenal.
Well, can you get them back?
We're actually. The Community Concert Association Board wants me to bring them back for next year, so I'll let you know.
Seriously, so I just made a mistake, but we've now introduced that.
We've now introduced
they're
a
coming
show
back.
for next season.
They're
Exactly.
coming back.
That's great.
All right, Manhattan Transfer.
Manhattan Transfer, some of the best R&B, jazz vocalists, boy from New York City. They're introducing a new holiday CD, and this is one of their first concerts to actually kick that off. That's on November 30th. Delighted to have them back.
I wonder if they'll bring CDs with them to sell at the
They
theater.
will. They'll have merchandise there. We
that'd be
love
cool.
selling merchandise. Yeah.
What about, I'm almost afraid to ask anything. I don't know about these things. What about Peter Noon?
What about Peter Noon? Peter Noon was with Herman's Hermits, or Peter Noon is Herman's Hermits.
That's right.
This is an Old English Christmas. It'll be on Saturday, December 1st. We haven't had Peter Noon in since 2011, so delighted to have him back.
Oh, yeah.
Remarkable performer. He wasn't one of those screecher rock and rollers, so
No,
he still has
that's
his
right.
voice, and a very personable chap. And he has a group of followers that they call the Nooniacs. Love it.
That's
Love it. It's going to
funny.
be a lot of fun.
Now, lest I make another mistake, isn't John Barry on tap?
John Barry's also going to be with us as well, and that's on December 4th, which is the Tuesday following Peter Noon. And John is a multi-Grammy award-winning country singer. His Christmas show, you're going to come and you're going to feel more warmth and joy in listening to him perform those songs. It's a true blessing to have John
I just think
with
that's
us.
great.
Yeah.
Up on screen for more information, highpointtheater.com is the website. The box office number is 887-3001. But whatever you do, don't call Dave and ask if the Raleigh Ringers are about to come because that's another year away.
That's right.
Dave Briggs, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Jim.
All right. Sorry for ruining this segment.
Oh, I don't think so.
I do the best I can.
Great
I do
job.
the best I can. All right. We'll be right back. On Triad Today, time for the infamous Roundtable to convene. And on my right, but always the political left, the award-winning broadcaster journalist Ogie Overman, who is dapper today as always.
Yes.
Next to him, speaking of dapper, you saw him earlier in the program talking about the serious subject of childhood obesity and the mistletoe run. We're glad to have him stay over for the roundtable. Our great attorney friend David Daggett, who's filling in for Dave Plyler today, and we say shout out to Dave Plyler. And then Keith Granberry, who is filling in for Keith Granberry. who is founder of Helping Hands Consultants and did a lot of good work this year in getting people registered to vote. All right, guys, let's get to the first topic. On the top of a lot of people's mind right now is the closure of Business 40. Even though it's a small section, it's going to mess up everybody in the universe. So both lanes are now closed down officially, whether people are watching Saturday or Sunday. They're closed and may be closed up through January of 2020. Here's the question. Given the disruption to business and traffic, do you now think it was wise to close both lanes at once? Ogie.
I tell you, I've covered DOT a long time and a lot of projects, and some of their decisions are just dumbfound me. There had to have been a better way. I know maybe that was cost effective, but there had to have been a better way.
Mr. Daggett.
I think it's one of those situations where you picked your poison. There wasn't a good option. I gotta trust that there's people smarter than me that made the best decision that they could.
He said it would take longer if they did it lane by lane.
Right.
So.
My concern, Ogie, is there seems to be lots of other projects in town, and they add on top of each other, and that's what concerns me.
Yeah, Keith.
Yeah. The fact that in transportation, there's probably not a lot of people smarter than you. and so I think one lane, they should have kept one lane open. You're going to have a lot of traffic. And you're going to look at you think Washington, D.C. and Atlanta, that's going to be right here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Was he giving me a compliment?
A great compliment.
You folks at home couldn't see it, but under the table, Keith had his hand on David's wallet. Now, next topic. In the wake of, here's a serious one, guys. In the wake of two recent massacres in Pittsburgh and Los Angeles, will the new Congress finally vote to ban assault weapons and maybe even extended ammo clips? Ogie.
I'm not optimistic, Jim. I don't see it happening until some more changes are made.
David.
Should they? Absolutely. Will they? I don't think they can come together.
Keith.
The answer is no.
All right. A grocery store owner in Alabama refuses to sell Pepsi products with an NFL logo on them because he's angry that some football players still refuse to stand for the national anthem. Guys, are you okay with his form of protest? It's his right to protest, but he's telling customers you can't buy the NFL Pepsi products here.
Well, I'm all for peaceful protest, but good Lord. I mean, if you're going to do that, just boycott CBS, Fox, Dick's Sporting Goods, Amazon, basically everything that's got an NFL. That is just so stupid.
Sort of a limited protest
so
there, isn't
stupid.
it? David.
Yeah, it's a limited protest. I don't like it. I don't think it's smart. Does he have the right to do it? He's got the right to do it, and
yeah,
I don't know what else to say about it.
All right, Keith.
I want people who are against the protest to understand what they're protesting for.
Well, they don't know.
They don't know, so they're just out here protesting. They don't even understand the education of why people are protesting. Let's start right there.
Right. All right. Now, meanwhile, President Trump wants to end birthright citizenship so that a baby born in the United States is not a citizen unless his parents are citizens. Good idea or bad idea, Ogie?
This guy is such a megalomaniac. I mean, a total megalomaniac. He thinks with his scribbly signature on a piece of paper, he can change the Constitution.
Right, but he can't.
What the height of arrogance is that?
David.
Yeah, no, it's a bad idea. It's not good. There's lots of ramifications. When all the political debate, all the back and forth and nastiness that we have in our society, the thing I always ask is, what about the kids?
Yeah.
What about the kids?
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to take our shot.
They get hurt the most. Keith.
This administration seems to have very little empathy for kids that are coming from another country or parents. And I think hopefully the checks and balances will also allow us to pull some of the people who are on one end to the middle so we can come up with a good agreement.
Right, which is kind of ironic that you got a president who acts like a child, but he doesn't like children. All right, now Girl Scouts of America are suing Boy Scouts of America for dropping the word boy from their name. This is a messy one. Maybe David has a good perspective on this. Ogie, who wins this battle?
Well, David, your source on that. I mean, I know it's trademark infringement and all, but I know that I hope the girls win.
Yeah, David.
I wish that what would happen would be the Boy Scouts talk to the Girl Scouts in advance. You come up with a reasonable solution instead of enter into litigation between two longtime admirable organizations.
It's kind of sad, isn't it?
It's kind of sad.
Keith.
Why can't the Boy Scouts just be the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts be the Girl Scouts?
Because that's what the girls are worried about. The Girl Scouts are worried that by just dropping it and saying we're the Scouts of America, that's going to mean that there's no reason
I don't
to go
understand why Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts can't stay the same. It just doesn't make sense.
Let me ask a scout over there in the corner, a military veteran. How much? Oh, 1 minute. All right. Brian's over there in the corner giving me a finger. It's a 1 minute finger. Finally, Amazon has discovered that the computer they use to screen resumes is favoring male applicants over females. Guys, do you think a computer can be sexist? And is your computer a sexist, Ogie?
Well, I mean, it's obviously the algorithms, but no, my computer knows how I roll. You know, I'm with the women. I am totally with the women.
David.
Well, somebody programmed the computer. So there's somebody sexist behind that. My computer is an equal rights computer.
There you go.
Keith.
My computer likes women.
So you
but I think it doesn't take a computer to know that men are favored over women in the workplace. We don't need a computer
and they
for
make
that.
more money and all that. All right, guys, thanks for doing this. David, thanks for hanging around to do it, and appreciate you being here. Yes, sir, David Daggett. All right, well, that's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. The New York Times just published a scientific study that says a woman can get pregnant again while she's already pregnant. Now you tell me, said the Octomom. Poor woman. She didn't know.
Didn't know?
All right, for all of us here.
Who knew?
I didn't know.
She didn't know.
Don't drag me into this. We'll see you next week.